All right, welcome everybody to the Late Returns Film Review Podcast. This is the show we talk about our old school movies we grew up with. We hired at the video store and enjoyed when we were kids. I'm here with the brothers from the 1 through 5 footy show. We got Simon coming in from Australia. What's up, Uso?
What's up, Uso? My little Bobby, my little Cams. Yeah, man. Been good, bro. One of my favorite all-time classics coming up also. Yeah, really enjoyable to be here.
Good to have you on, bro. Good to have you on. Yeah, we got also up north, in the North Shore. We got Bobby, you son of a bitch.
Sexual Tyrannosaurus in the house. Sorry, good to see you, Bert. Congrats again on the baby, Bert. Good to see you.
Thanks, Bert.
All right, we are here to talk about a movie that came out in 1987, action-packed, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and a host of other macho men. Predator. Let's roll the intro.
In a part of the world where there are no rules.
We pick up their trail at the chopper, run them down, grab those hostages before anybody knows we were there. What do you mean we?
Deep in the jungle, where nothing that lives is safe.
You lose it here, you're in a world of hurt. Showtime, kid. Knock, knock.
An elite rescue squad.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
Is being led by the ultimate warrior.
We need the best. That's why you're here.
But now,
What's got Billy so spooked?
there's something out there waiting for us. And it ain't no man. They're up against the ultimate enemy.
Holy mother of God.
Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before.
She says the jungle just came alive and took him.
We cannot see it.
No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
But it sees the heat of our bodies and the heat of our fear.
Whatever it is out there, it killed Harper. And now it wants us.
It kills for pleasure.
He was skinned alive.
It hunts for sport.
He's killing us one at a time.
We're all gonna die. But this time, it's picked the wrong man to hunt.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
20th Century Fox presents Arnold Schwarzenegger. Predator.
Okay, boys, let's start this podcast with, this movie, man. 87 that came out. How good is this movie?
This movie's up there, man. Like, not just in terms of Arnold movies, but in terms of action movies. I know we had a bit of a chat before we came on about how this movie still stands up, and that's so true. Like, this movie, it holds its own, man, against action movies that are getting released today. And I think, it has a lot to do with the fact that Arnold has such a massive screen presence. But not only that, it's a real hybrid of different sort of genres. It's action, it's horror, it's sci-fi, and man, you got classic one-liners that came out of this. At a time when Arnold was releasing lots of movies that had classic one-liners, and all of us grew up quoting different Arnold one-liners from all his movies. All the drinking games, everyone can quote them. So, Predator's really up there for me. Just lots of nostalgia when you think back to those days when you first started watching Arnold movies. But then when you first saw Predator, like, I was a little kid and we were watching it at home on the VHS, the video. We probably couldn't afford to go watch it at the Kifangas at the time, so had to wait for it to get released on the video. So yeah, man, this movie it's right up there. Like, I love Commando for Arnold, but I love Predator. It's probably on par with Commando for me. I don't think it's his top movie, but I reckon it's right up there in his top 3.
Yeah, you're right, being one of the top action movies, especially in the 80s, man. And we did talk about this before we jumped on the mics, but I remember when I was a kid, when I first watched this film, I thought it was really good, but it wasn't like where I thought it would be when I watched it recently, just in the weekend, man. Because when I watched it earlier on this week, I was thinking, man, this has got to be top 3 of the action movies in the 80s, man. You know what I mean? So it wasn't up there when I watched it first, but and you're right, it's because it stands the test of time, man. How about you, Si? Why do you like this film?
Oh, sorry, man. I put this up there, man. One of the all-time best action films, just a real mixture, bro. Like Bobby pointed out, there's a lot of science fiction. There's fucking a lot of testosterone in this. These fucking some like one of the best army guys, the best of the best. Fucking their own special unit, all put together to come hunt down this fucking some alien, bro. I mean, like you can't beat that stage, Jules. But just the action, bro. And you know what? You know what's classic about it is like us growing up in our childhood and then rewatching it. I don't think it kind of meant to be, and whoever wrote it, but the comedy, that come out of the classic lines, bro. You know what I mean? So it kind of almost a bit of a mixture, man. Action, science fiction, comedy, and it's just got all the ingredients, bro, for a kick-ass action movie, bro. You got some fucking if you got a baby face with a mean ass giggle and some good one-liners, and they're holding some fucking mean ass artillery and shit. Go chase some fucking ugly ass alien. Solely. You just can't go wrong. And then the beauty of it was probably the writing, bro. The writing was classic. You know, the one-liners. And Bob mentioned, I'm probably the same as him, man. My favorite Arnie movie is Commando, and this one a close second. But I don't really remember getting it out or looking for it on the shelf. I just remember already having it at home, taped on the old VCR. You know, when you watch those old tapes and it's got all the fucking commercial breaks in between. I always had it lying around the house. And then, just when I got older, just for our viewers out there who are born in the 2000s, you know, we used to go out to the video store, and I always used to grab one of those as part of the 7-day hire, bro? Just one of those ones that no matter how old you are, you can always go back to watch again, man. And like you guys mentioned, like Bob mentioned, it stands up, man. It stands up even to this day. Even the action moves. You can do some really. You look at some action movies back in the day, and the fucking stunts are shit. But this stands up, bro. I mean, a lot of it's all fucking shooting and shit. Not too much, but action moves. But I think all the stunts stand up. The storytelling, the lines are just as funny, and you know it's coming up. You know you're gonna laugh your ass off. But yeah, bro, culminating in the fucking one of the greatest end. The last fight scene, bro. And that's we're gonna go into depth with those scenes. But yeah, that's why it's one of my favorites, bro. Just the build up. It's almost like a Royal Rumble, bro. You're kicking ass. People are getting eliminated, and there's down to 2. Hey, and yeah, man, it'll always be one of my favorites. I think my kids are due to be introduced to it soon. But yeah, I love it, bro.
Yeah, man, this is one of the all-time greats, man. And man, just thinking about when I was a kid, like waiting for the next Arnold movie to come out. You know, like every year, like it was like almost like nowadays when these Marvel movies are coming out. Like back then, these were our Marvel movies, right? It was like the Sylvester Stallones or the Van Dammes or the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, like they'll come out with their movies, action movies every year, and you just want to wait for the next one, what the next one is. So we're a bit too young to watch these movies at the movie theater, being R-rated and all that kind of stuff. But man, once they hit the video stores, man, we're just hiring them out like repeatedly, like the next week and the following week if they're really good, man. And my old man, he was into movies too, so he liked these action films, and we'll bring the home, and all that kind of stuff. But just being like a pure action movie, Predator it's a simple movie if you think about it. It's like group of guys come in, like forming like Avengers, but you know you can pick up some of these guys from other films, and you got Jesse Ventura from WWF Wrestling at the time. You got Mac, who came from, you recognize him from Commando. You know, you got Billy, if you know him. He was on 48 Hours.
Yes.
Into that too. So
yeah,
but these are like, and you got Apollo Creed, man, you know, and like, I remember thinking, oh, that's the guy off Rocky, right? And that's the second time I've seen him in the film, you know. So you got all these macho man dudes that just together, just kicking ass, eh, man. And man, those are the kind of films as a kid, those action movies, you get into 100%, man. So all the ingredients was there, you know, like. There's no like no sort of like love interest. There's no like sort of a lot of talking and all that kind of stuff. Just pure action, like action packed, like one after the other. Like you can pick if like you come home. I was thinking about this. So if you come home and you just turn on TV and it's on any particular part in the movie, man, you won't even go bed or go away. You just watch the whole thing, you know, because it's that good, man. It's that good. So yeah, man.
It's funny you bring up that no love interests, because I remember seeing an interview where Arnold was talking about how the director or something wanted that girl to be like a love interest type character, and Arnold was like, "Nah, that's not gonna work.
I know.
How are we trying to like get it on in the forest when there's this alien out there hunting us down?" It just didn't sit right with me, so I said, "Nah, keep you that story, bro. Rewrite that shit." Well, there's no time for Arnold to be making love in the jungle. I'm just out here to kill this thing. Yeah,
And
so
that's
I
probably
thought that was funny.
recognizing what kind of movie it is, eh, man? Like, you're right. Like, it doesn't make sense. But, you know, maybe some executive will think, man, we got to put some sex scenes in this, you know. So that's the trend, right? But nah, man, it's not that kind of film, man. And then they have to be. So, yeah, man, that's a good decision by Arnold. If he did say that, eh, man?
Yeah, I seen it on some interview where years later he was talking about it.
That must be your first interesting fact of the making of the film there. But you guys got any interesting facts you can bring to the making of the film or behind the scenes?
I think so. I had one.
Oh, I kind of had one, and it's probably like a well documented one, but before he was kickboxer, Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme he actually played the stuntman in the Predator, and man, I'll be truthful, but I don't do too much homework, but I heard he got fired, man, so he didn't finish off the role. But yeah, I think that's quite a well-known one, but I don't think he finished off the movie. I'm not too sure what he did, bro, but yeah, that's kind of like a well-known fact that people know that Van Damme was the Predator.
Have you seen the pictures of Van Damme and the original concept of what the Predator is supposed to look like? It looks stupid.
It was like a mascot suit or something.
It looked so dumb.
Oh,
That was one
really?
of the reasons. Yeah, Van Damme said it was too hot and he hated the suit. He said it was too favela, and he thought his scenes it would allow him to do more martial arts, because, you know, he was like an actual qualified martial arts guy. So he thought he'd be doing more like fighting, and they were like, "Nah, man, we ain't got no spinning kick aliens, man." And so
He's
he
gonna
was
be
like,
jumping around being a Buzz Lightyear, fucking everyone from your.
Like, I don't see no Predator doing the splits, man. Like,
I think
The
that's what he thought he could bring to the alien, to the Predator. Was his martial
It would have
arts.
been interesting. It would have been interesting if the producers and the director allowed him a lot more, you know, to introduce this Predator to be some kind of galactic shit. You know, why not? You know, why not? He's from a different planet. They must have higher levels of kung fu, and he would have had that over fucking. But he was already a fucking. He was one ugly motherfucker, but he was already, you know, the what do you call it? The technology. Hey, the technology they had over Dutch. But anyway, we'll go over that later.
but the difference between the final Predator suit to that one you saw in the behind the scenes with Van Damme, man, that was the final Predator is that's a massive upgrade, man. Because that mascot suit, that Van Damme, what the hell were they thinking, man? Like,
That would have killed the movie straight up. Hey, you ain't
Like,
gonna watch that shit,
nah,
man.
man. That's like something out of the old Star Trek, man. The 1970s Star Trek. Yeah, man. I saw some facts there. So apparently, you know how you got Arnold, you got Carl Weathers, and you got Bill Duke and Jesse the Body Ventura. These guys were big egos on the set, so they were like training hard out, trying to outmuscle each other. Like that was a thing, man. It was a thing. Like it was like really competitive, and I think because of Arnold, because Arnold was like, you know, they knew Arnold, how he's bodybuilding, and so everyone else was trying to be a bodybuilder. They're pumping iron like in early hours in the morning before they jump on set. All of them, you know, trying to show each other up. So that was one fact I saw. The other fact I saw was that jungle, it was actually brown because it was dry. It was dry season, so the jungle was brown. So they had to always like come in with this fake grass and make it look more green. So that was a big chore for the crew, because they had to, like, every scene they had to make sure they had to put all the new fake trees in and stuff. So it's funny.
Back to that working out fact that you brought in, Cam. Like I seen this interview that Arnold did where he played a prank on Jesse Ventura, and he had told the wardrobe department, and he asked them, "Oh, how big are Jesse Ventura's arms?" And they're saying, "Oh, it's like 21 inches or something." And I said, "Well, 20 inches." And then Arnold's like, "Oh, my arms are bigger. Okay, tell them that if he asks how big my arms are, say that they're 19 inches. And so Arnold already knew he had bigger biceps just by the wardrobe guys telling him about it. And so when they went to go and put their offals on, Jesse Ventura's putting his offals on, and he's like, "Hey, we should measure our biceps." He's like, oh, why? He goes, "Oh, because I just want to see who's got bigger biceps." He's already told the wardrobe guys to put bello to Ventura. And so when they come out and they measure, Ventura's like 19, or 20 or whatever. And measure Arnold, he's got like 22. And they were like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, you need to work out some more. Jesse the body." Whatever. Yeah, it was an interview that I saw, and I was thinking, "Fuck, Arnold, he was mind games guy." It was that Arnold that you see him pumping iron. That was the same Arnold throughout all of his movies, anytime, and that would have been such a massive testosterone-fueled movie set with all those guys and flipping steroids the way it was in the 80s. Everyone trying to pump iron and look cool. Yeah, you're right, and that's one of the scenes that I clearly remember from that movie was when they were building those traps, and I was like, "Oh, he's using the trees, okay." And then when they were building all those traps, and I was like, suddenly, now Carl Weathers want to take his offal off, and everyone's hard out like posing with the ropes, trying to. I was like,
Tense scene and all.
hard out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
The other small fact I got here is there was a case of diarrhea on set because everyone had food poisoning. It was a bad experience for everyone on the set, but
Except
yeah, boys,
Arnold,
so
because he took his own chef.
yeah,
That's another one. That I was there, like, Arnold's the only one that didn't get sick because he had his own chef and he brought his own food. Because he would have been the only one rich enough to fly all his own shit to wherever the movie was. All these other guys are still sort of establishing themselves, but Arnold was already a main guy.
because I remember on Pumping Iron, he talked about even before he became a movie star, he was a millionaire. He made $1 million from his business he was doing, the property stuff. So, yeah, man. So this movie came out in '87. Man, a lot of good films came out that same year. I was looking at the top 10 highest grossing films of '87. You got number one movie there was Three Men and a Baby. Then number two, Fatal Attraction. Then Beverly Hills Cop 2. But yeah, other movies in there like Good Morning Vietnam, Moonstruck, Untouchables, Secret of My Success, Stakeout, Lethal Weapon, and The Witches of Eastwick. For that top 10 that year. The Last Emperor won Best Picture. And Michael Douglas for Wall Street won Best Actor that year.
Did you say 3 Men and a Baby was the highest
Box office movie
box
that year.
office? Yeah. This one didn't really, and I think this was not critically acclaimed. Hey, this is more of like a cult movie. Eh? It was
Yeah.
like VCR ones that you keep, and I think outside of you can't look at it like one of those film festival movies, bro. Eh? It's I think the true appreciation is if you were a child, a teenager in the '80s, growing up watching this shit, man. Hey, it's I find this a lot hard for other people outside of our era to appreciate Arnie in the '80s, man. And I think that he started that. You know what The Rock was doing a few years back. Just the ingredients to really sell a movie, man. You need mean ass Gil and some fucking mean ass action scenes, bro. But I don't think people will come close to what Arnie did. And this was probably the peak, I reckon, or just starting. Hey, from I would say, like, I know he did Pumping Iron, one of the first ones, but I would say from Conan action movies, and all those ones, the First Commando, up until say the early '90s when he started doing the those fucking comedy feel good family ones, which wasn't too much of a fan, but these fucking action films from the mid to late '80s, man, that for me is peak Arnie, man.
Yeah, hard out.
And I think it came out at a time when that action movie genre and the actors who made that genre, it was still right in the middle of that genre really establishing itself through that '80s, late '80s, mid to late '80s, early '90s, when that genre was like, oh, okay. There were so many movies that came out between Arnold, Stallone, flipping Bruce Willis, all those Planet Hollywood guys that came out with action movies and then pretty much created that genre that everyone sort of knows today. There were films that came prior to them that had action in it, but that whole action movie genre, and then he even sort of makes a parody about it in his last action hero movie. That Predator came out in a time when it was still being formed, and there were so many action movies that came out after Predator. But '87, man, like RoboCop, did you mention Good Morning Vietnam, La Bamba, Cry Freedom, Dirty Dancing, Untouchables, Princess Bride, like there were
What
heaps.
a year.
What a year, yeah.
Man, and Arnie had 2 movies that year with, I think, Cam, you talked about Running Man before we came on, and that came out later that year in November. But man, that was Masters of the Universe. Was it '87 as well? Yeah, we're talking about another action movie that was a cult sort of favorite. That was another one. Did you mention Lost Boys? Yeah, there were
Lost
heaps.
Boys came out.
It's a good year to be at the Lost Boys.
Good Morning
Good year
Vietnam.
to be at the video
There
store,
were
man.
heaps, bro.
Yeah, hard out. Man, that was a good year. Man, we're going to cover most of these films too in '87. So
Yeah, bro.
we might do a '87 movie draft.
Yeah, '87
Do that on
was.
one of these podcasts. '87 movie draft. That's good.
Yeah, bro.
John McTiernan, the director. This was he directed this film. The following year he does Die Hard. Then the year after that he does Hunt for the Red October. So man, that's like three gold movies on his list there. Then he sort of drops off and doesn't do anything good after that. But man, you can retire after doing those 3 films there, man.
Pretty much.
Supporting characters, the actors in this film. You guys got any thoughts on them before we move on?
So some of the, Arnie's got some good quotes, but some of these other guys, man, the comedy comes from them, and their supporting. I love Billy, man. Billy's got, and I think him being, I don't know, it's not really well documented, but he seems to be like some kind of Latino guy, right? Or maybe a Native American, but I kind of sense like he knew there was something out there that was, and I forgot his quote, but there's something out there that wasn't a man, and he was the only one that kind of figured that out, that we were not looking for someone
There's something
from
out
this
there,
planet.
Poncho. It's hunting us.
Yes, and it ain't no man. Yes, bro. And you know what? And I always remember that shit, bro. And just the way he died. So he's one of my favorites, bro, because he could sense that no matter how much guns and artillery they got, that you know that they're gonna die. You know. Yeah, bro. Him, Mac. Mac's a real guy, eh? What the fuck? And you know what's funny about him? I always crack up at how he was dropping his nuts, kept on fungaing his fucking machine.
The minigun.
That's probably the first one Arnold did with an ensemble cast, eh? Like you said, like a team. Like he's always been by on his own, like the lone hero kind of dude. But I don't think there's another one when he's with a team or guys. But yeah, I think that's the only one he's had. Yeah, man, good force there, boys. Man, we probably touched a little bit of this stuff, but the last thing we want to talk about is the cultural impact of this film had. Man, at the time of its release and even to this day. Like, any thoughts on that? Have you got, Bob?
This is one of those movies, you know, because it stands the test of time. You see, even today, like memes. There's lots of references to Predator. There's lots of, you know, oh, you're bleeding. Oh, ain't got time to bleed. Like, so how many times have you heard, ain't got time to bleed? You know, everyone sort of quoted these lines, and like I was saying, like the supporting cast have come in with some of these lines, like turn around anytime. It's like, really? It's like, that's a real nasty habit you got there. You know, all of those lines that you can sort of think back and, oh yeah, man, those are real memorable. For me, one of the reasons why I love Predator so much is that you spend half that whole first half of the movie, you don't know what the fuck Predator is. You just see blurry lines in the jungle, and that shit's fucking scary in the 80s when you're a kid. It's like, so this guy is just blurry, man. What is he? You don't know what he is. And Alan Silvestri, I don't know if we'll talk about the music guy that does the score for it. So that music is scary, man. When I remember watching Predator for the first time, and it was at nighttime, so it was, you know, we're watching it at night, and it's outside, and this music is like, so this music is a bit creepy.
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's a bit creepy and they're in the jungle, and you know Arnold from his previous movies is like, so he's commander. So his whole team's getting killed. So he's got this look like, I don't know what's going on. Did you find Hawkins? I think so. Like all of these mysterious shit. Like, I can't tell. What do you mean? Where's his body? It's like, oh my God, people getting skinned alive. People's bodies are getting like there's all this mystery around Predator. Like during the story as the movie's playing out, and you're thinking, what the hell is this thing? It's gutting people alive, and then you see Hawkins hanging upside down, and he's that strong and fast that he just gulped Hawkins up in the tree in a split second, and the whole team sort of gets there, and it's like, what? Yeah, there's all this mystery around what the Predator is. You know, I remember before I watched the movie, I rewatched the trailer, and if you've seen the trailer, it's like, Makwa, it still gives you chills up your spine. It's like, what is it? Yeah, man, it's like the ultimate team comes together to fight the ultimate enemy. It's like, oh,
that guy's voice for
yeah,
trailers.
that guy who does all the movie trailers in the 80s. Yeah, and it's like, man, when you go to watch Predator because it's an Arnold movie, but then you get stuck in this horror science fiction. It's like, man, I don't know if Arnold's going to get out of this. This whole squad of big fucking musty dudes getting arms chopped off. This guy's just picking apart his team real easy, like nothing. And then in the end, it's like, it wasn't even his big old painless weapons. It's like fucking wooden spear. It's like big wooden stakes. It's like, man went old school with all of his weapons because he ain't got nothing
That's the
left.
beauty of it.
Yeah,
That's the beauty
exactly
of it.
right.
The whole movie, eh? They're trying to figure out how to kill this fucking thing. They don't know what it is. Hey, and like talking about the ensemble as well. Man, old Dylan. I thought he was a real guy, eh? When I first watched it, because I was like, Man, this cunt knows. You know, he planned all this shit. He knew that Mofo's units before were getting their asses kicked. Something was killing them. He didn't quite know. And Dutch knew. He's like, you're sending us in. But
I think this is what you're looking for.
yeah.
Set us
And
up.
you know, he's got that famous quote like, "You're expendable," blah blah blah, and Dutch is like, "My man's not expendable." So you really think, fuck this cunt. But as the movie grows, he becomes part. You know, he's in there walking with them, and like he kind of like becomes part of their unit properly. You know what I mean? And you can see like, especially when Mac was like got caught, he's trying to be a hero. Oh, I'll go and save them, blah blah blah. So like, the more I watched it as I got older, I kind of knew the man Dylan's like he's a complex guy. He was all out for himself because you know he was pushing pencils. But then the more he spent time and the more everyone was getting eliminated, he could sense that, man, we got to work together as a team. But like, I just want to point out what Bob was saying, the combination of how he eventually killed him, you know, just man's basic, the number one weapon is your bro, your brain. And once Dutch knew that this motherfucker can't see through mud, it was all over, bro. It was all over. And the brain did that shit, bro. And he just used some laos to kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of this whole movie. This guy comes from another fucking planet and he's got out of this world weaponry, but he couldn't handle the fucking mud and the spears, bro.
Super advanced technology. I was like, how is he going to take him out? Man, this guy's got lasers, bro. Lasers is always going to win against bullets.
Yes.
He's got invisibility.
And we believe it all. And we still believe it now.
And that's where the intense part of the movies come from, eh? Like, because when we think of Arnold and Commando, like, he's untouchable, man. He's brawn. He just beats up anyone. He muscles everyone. But when you know you can't muscle this dude, the Predator, what he's gonna do? And you're right, side, he gotta use his brain, man. So, and that's how he ultimately kills the Predator at the end, right? He outsmarts him instead of using his brawn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's probably a
And
a change
like,
in-
it's like, wow. Because Commando, you follow it and it's believable, bro. This guy's kick ass. And Bennett's a human. He's fucking dirty cunt. Whereas this alien, right up until the 5 minutes to the end of the movie, like, he can't kill him. No way. How's he gonna get out of this? You know what I mean? It's got you on the edge of your seat. And it's like unbelievable every scene. That last 20 minutes, one of the greatest moments in film history.
So that scene when Predator is on the other side of that sort of crawl space, and Arnold's like, I'm here, oh, come at me. And then he goes around, and then the look on Arnold's face drops, and I was like, he's dead, man. He's dead. He didn't fall for it. He's gonna die. So like, why are we watching this? I'm just gonna die. It was all part of his plan. It was like, you ain't coming through these spiky spikes. You're gonna come around the other side, but you didn't see that. I had another trap ready to go. Back up. So you're right. That whole brawn versus brain was like, you just seen your whole arsenal of weapons didn't do jack to this guy. And then when you mention that, it takes me back to when Mac and Dylan died, because these two, throughout that whole sort of scene where they're trying to stalk the Predator, and I laugh about it now, because when you first watch it, it's like, shit, these guys are gonna get him. They're gonna get him. And then when they die, and then you see it's like, suddenly, hey, they had no chance. The Predator's up in the line. I was going, oh yeah, man, I can see both of them crawling around on the jungle floor, their body heat giving them away. I'm just gonna jump over to this line and better play Billy's voice.
They were just big thugs, eh? Like, real big thugs with fucking big ass guns. They had to be the ones holding the big ass guns too, eh?
And he must have cut himself for real with his shavers, huh? When he's like, and then you see the coco coming from his cheek. And I was like, so that's real, man.
Scenes,
I was like, this is real.
That scene was improvised by Bill Dick too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Another fact.
But you know what's cool about Duke? Because he's always a fucking mean character in other movies, eh? But you could really feel his Fefe Vale coming through the scenes. The first
Yeah.
real movie, you see him like real scared, and for a long time you don't know what this. You just see that invisible thing going on. You're like, what the fuck? Even this big black guy's like,
I remember some cultural impact stuff was more around Hollywood because Sylvester Stallone was bringing out movies, Arnold were bringing out movies at the same sort of time, action movies, trying to outdo each other. So the media made a big deal out of it, like Arnold versus Stallone type thing. And I might have got into Stallone's head or Arnold's head because they were sort of fed off the media and trying to make it a rivalry. So, well, whatever movie Stallone would do in his movies, Arnold will come back and do another movie and get a one up on him or something like that. So there was that as well. So
I don't think Stallone really had science fiction fucking fighter alien kind of movie though, eh?
nah. But do you guys remember that when we were watching these films in the 80s and the 90s, like the competition between these two actors?
Yeah.
Hard, bro.
Demolition Man. You remember Demolition Man? There was a scene where Sandra Bullock's character talks about President Schwarzenegger, and then Stallone goes, "What? This is President Schwarzenegger." And I was like, "Oh, these guys." On that scene in Twins where Arnold comes out and there's a big like Rambo 3 poster behind him, and then he looks up at Rambo because he's like showing his arms, and then Arnold looks at his arms, looks up at the person.
Even taking digs in their own movies.
I've seen a few interviews from both of them talk about the rivalry, how like they did when one guy, you know, when Stallone released his Rambo or something like that, then you know Arnie would get competitive, bro, and Arnie comes from a competitive world, bro, of bodybuilding. But yeah, bro, at the time, I don't think it was hugely thing, but everyone, all your fans, kind of had. But I wasn't really a fan of one or the other, man. I love them both, man. I love all the actors.
Well, I was gonna say, God, I had a thought.
Sweet. Boys, on that note, shall we move on to the categories? So, yeah, we'll start off with most iconic scenes. So I'll list these scenes, and then at the end of it, we'll probably choose a scene out of those scenes that I've listed. We'll just have a talk about them, just a short talk about them. So the scenes I got was the first scene, introduction scene of the team, and when Dutch meets Dylan, they have their little arm wrestling scene. Next iconic scene I got is the skinned alive scene. We see Jim Hopper and his man hanging upside down, skinned alive. Then the gorilla raid, the whole scene there. Next one, Blaine's death and shooting at the jungle scene. Predator fixing himself. They do a trap for Predator and it fails. Mac and Dylan, they die. Then I got Billy's death, and then the waterfall and mud scene, and the final battle. Start with you, Simon. Your favorite scene out of these?
Out of those ones, bro, I like Billy's death. I like that he died honorably, like no fefe, man. Come out, kala his awful, got his ngefi out, the chest starts carving himself. That's like he front line of battle ones, He knew he's going to the oki, bro. Whereas everyone died out of fear, bro, Like, I don't know, that one and the one you mentioned at the start of the movie, when they're having a battle with Dylan, you son of a bitch, and then they cross arms. That's iconic as well, bro. But that's more like crack up ones, And then just seeing old Carl Withers, he was not going to win that. She's got the strongest arm battle, not even in the movie or real life. But probably those two scenes also.
I wonder if that's a direct comeback for Over the Top. Arnold figured he put that one in just after Over the Top comes out or something like that.
Yeah, they came out in the same year, eh?
Oh,
Was
yeah,
it the same
yeah,
year
yeah.
or just before?
His little dig to Sylvester Day. Yeah, man, that Billy Death scene, eh? Like all these kind of action movies, eh? There's always the indigenous guy that's the spiritual person that has to dig down into the spirituality,
Yeah.
and that's when the honor and stuff come out, eh? So, and I think that the Predator, he appreciated that because there's that scene where he takes Billy's spine out and he polishes
Cleaning
the
it up real
skull and
good.
cleans
Yeah.
it up real good. Because I'm wondering if that,
Yeah.
that's honorable death. Yeah, you deserve to be in my trophy cabinet, eh, man.
Which I watched play on Channel 2, and I was looking forward to that scene, and that was Skippy, I remember.
Oh,
But,
shit.
Because of the blood.
you know, it showed on TV back in the days.
Yeah.
Self-mutilating.
I think it showed
Yeah.
one
was-
bit of the red line, and that was it. Eh? Gippy, there.
Yeah.
Then you had to scream, and that was it.
And that goes to
think
show,
that,
like, but you know, the Predator, what he did to Billy with the skull and that. That's, you know, he was kind of like fucking around with all these guys. You know, he skinned what's the name, Hawkins. It's like
Hawkins.
he not only wanted to fucking, he didn't need to kill them to eat. He's just playing around, bro, torturing them, man. But maybe you're right. He was the only one that used Billy as a trophy, so maybe there's a bit of respect there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So he hangs them up and skins them because they're not worthy to take their skulls in. They're not worthy.
When you rewatch it, it's like what Sai was saying. It's like it's sport. He's not stalking them, and it's like this is gonna be a challenge. Now it's like suddenly you killed Hawkins from behind, man. He didn't even see you coming. So it's like suddenly this guy ain't got no qualms about taking somebody out when he doesn't even know that he's gonna get killed. All you see is the coco splatter over the gangster's face. I was like, suddenly, come on, mate. At least Jesse Ventura got taken out front on.
Yeah, that's right.
Just going back to those scenes, like I thought two stood out for me. Yes, there was that iconic arm wrestle in the beginning, but the two that stood out for me were the Dylan dying, because you saw how freaking fast Predator was moving in that jungle, and seeing that blur running through the trees like that, I was like, suddenly these guys ain't got a hope in hell of running away from the Predator.
With the music playing.
Yeah, and then like, you know, you've just seen his lima get blown off and the funger's still shooting because the trigger finger's like this. And he's like, I better get my left arm because lima will go blowing off. And I was thinking, suddenly, come on, mate. You probably had a good chance to get a few shots in before you got stabbed by the Predator running around, because he was too busy killing like this. What am I fighting here? He probably knew when he saw the blur coming out. You know, I think right up until that moment, Dylan thought he had a chance. But when all he could hear is Mac's voice talking to him, Mac, over here. And then you see Mac over here, but his head has got a big boo in it. But that's the first time that you sort of see the whole Predator. Like, you've seen his leg and then a bit of green blood, and then it's like, what is this guy? You know, and then you sort of see the whole of the Predator come out, and then he doesn't just have lasers. Dude's got a big freaking chink, like ninja blades coming out of his forearms. I was like, suddenly, this guy hasn't just got lasers, he's got big freaking sapelu swords coming out of his arm. And so I thought that was cool, because you got to see what the alien was, his sort of array of weaponry. You already could see that he has all this like medical shit that he can fix all his wounds with. And then the other scene I thought, which was really up there, was the mud scene, because it's like, wow, man, Arnold's gonna die here. He's splash, and then you see the splash behind him. Oh, hey, guy, Lord, what am I gonna do, Lord? I can't do anything but just. He couldn't see me. That's funny, because he crawls out of the mud, and there's only like a little bit of mud, but then when he turns around, there's mud everywhere. So I was like, Did some director comes, hey, I can still see your butt here. You gotta put the mud everywhere. And so that's when I was like, son, this Predator's gonna get outsmarted. When we had a 0% go up to 1% chance with the mud, it's like, oh, at least he can hide. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, what's he gonna do with it? Oh, he's gonna try and avenge his friends. Suddenly, okay, only Arnold could do that. If it was any other character in his squad, I would have a hightail it out to the chopper. Get me the hell out of here. But Arnold knew that nah, I can't leave. I can't go to the chopper. This thing would just continue to hunt me. So yeah, those two scenes for me, when Predator finally sort of reveals himself, and then you could see a bit more of his speed and not just his strength and his advanced technology. You saw that this guy was flipping. He was more than what Arnold could be in this movie. And you saw at the end when he was like lifting him up by his throat, and you could see like Arnold's feet off the ground, and it's like, so your brawn is not going to win you the battle here, man. This guy's way stronger than you. And you saw it when they went to like the Predator vision, when he's squeeing Arnold, and he's got like this little kid sort of voice when he's squeeing him, and the screams are in the Predator vision. And I was like, Arnold's getting wasted here, man. So, but yeah, and that whole painless blasting out into the forest, I just thought that was just silly. Someone get me some testosterone and some steroids, and let's just amp this scene up to 1,000,000, and we will just kafanga down all these fake trees that we just put up for today's scene. We're going to shoot them all down. That's what that scene was for. It was just like, just a whole lot of bullets getting blasted, and everyone flexing their biceps as they're shooting their guns into nowhere. Yeah, that was a cool scene though.
And just how like professional they were. They looked when they were shooting, like straight faces, except for Mac, but everyone else, man, just concentrating on shooting down anything in the front of them. I
remember
then reloading too. Then reloading. Yeah. Oh my gosh!
I had that as a screensaver back in the days when I called Windows 95. It was this, watch the movie and then just clip that scene. It was like, yeah.
Then when Puncher comes back, we had nothing. I was like, damn, fuck, that Predator can't even get shot, man.
And then when you rewatch it, it's like, so that Predator was Nemo in the first 2 seconds before they even started shooting. When the big man was killed, I saw his blood. Okay. I mean, right at the beginning, what were they shooting at?
So for my 2 favorite scenes under this list, man, I picked the final battle, but I picked the part when Predator reveals himself, how he takes off his mask. And the way he does it, because when you see him, he's got dreads, and even that's cool with his dreads, but his mask, I thought that was his real face when I was a kid, but when he took it off, oh no, that's a mask. Damn. So he takes off those things, and the hiss sound comes out. Take your one ugly motherfucker. But man, when they show his face, man, he was ugly, man. Fuck, that was cool, man. Yeah, that was a pretty cool alien name, man.
It was a cool alien, especially when you see the Van Damme version of it. It was way better.
But the other scene I love was the raid on the guerrilla camp, because man, that's when you see the skills and what Arnold's team's all about, when they come in there, man. Especially Blaine, when he with his Gatling gun, because I've never seen anything like that in any other movie. Like we see it again in Terminator 2, but man, that was the first time I ever seen it, and the power of it, like I was like, what the hell? This guy's going around and just chopping down everybody, to the fact when, man, he was blowing guys away and they were catching on fire, man. I was like, hey, what the hell, man? What is this gun, man?
That minigun, you normally see them on like the side of helicopters. And they're shooting on the side of like helicopters.
And he's carrying it around, like
carry it. I was like,
he's just carrying it around like
OP guy, man.
But man, there's a scene I posted up on my Facebook page. Is that scene when they killed those guys trying to escape in the helicopter? Because I thought, man, that's a combination. Because man, that's overkill, to the death, Like these guys, these Russian dudes, they jump in the helicopter, starting up, and you can hear the helicopter starting up in other scenes. But then when you see them trying to take off, and And Dutch, he machine guns them through the window, and they're dancing in their seats because they're getting shot. And then, it's Dylan, he's shooting them through the window, and then Dutch comes at the back with the rocket launcher and blows them up.
Yeah.
It's like shit. That's a 2-hit combo right there. But yeah, the all eyes on me scene. That's my one. The Predator Unmasked.
My scene is probably the end where Arnold's all camouflaged in mud and he's setting the traps. Like that whole ending sort of scene where they've gone from Arnold having all of his team, all of this weaponry arsenal, like they introduced this kick-ass team and it's just been dismantled by the Predator, and now it's just down to Arnold, his mud camouflage and his sticks and his knife. Like that's what it's come down to, so Arnold's mud kind of just references the fact that now he's camouflage, whereas before the Predator was camouflage. Because it's busted now he can't see me, but I can see him. There's that scene where he's like, holy shit, he crawls right in front of Arnold on the other side of the tree before he blows up his camouflage. Yeah, I thought that last scene was cool. That's my all eyes.
I'm stealing this off you guys, Paul, the 135 footy show, but the Kaya Gilly scene, what have you got, Bob?
Kaya Killer for me is Mac dying. like Mac getting all wanna avenge his friend and then pointing out that he could see the blurriness in the forest to Dylan. He's like, silly, over there, past them trees, you go around, flush them out. Yeah, I see it. And then I'm thinking, whoa, these guys can see the blur now. But the whole time the Predator's probably going, oh, these guys think they've got me, think they got me. And I think the minute they let their eyes off Predator to go and, Fikoloi on the floor of the jungle and go to where they thought they'd try and flush him out, man, it was all over. They should have just flung it from where they were, where they could see him. So I think that was my Kaya Killer because Mac was fear blasting all the bullets off and talking tough game and stabbing scorpions and shit off Dylan's back during the movie. He had this like macho. Then the look on his face when he realizes that the Predator's lasers is on him, and then the kick of his vai after he got planted through the head. It's like, no, silly. Kaya Kelly, you talk a big game, mate. You were just Kaya in the end. So for me, Mac dying in that movie was my Kaya Kelly scene.
Nice. The death scene too. It was my one, and Kaya Kelly was Puncher's death. It was anticlimax. He got injured from the log, busting his ribs, so he couldn't, walk. He needed help, but he just got funged by the laser. Just at the end there, and that was it. That was it for him.
He fell down. Let him go. Walk.
Yeah. Next category, going upstairs TMO scene. A scene you really want to watch in slow motion.
Probably that scene where they're just blasting the trees. I thought that scene was cool. I don't know about slow motion, but that's probably one of the scenes that's up there. The other one is probably when Predator swings around from the tree and you can see his camouflage, and then he decloaks for like that split second, and then the girl's about to pick up a gun and shoot him, and then Dutch kicks it out of her hand, and I was like, oh, hero, what a hero. Like, in that whole time, all that shit's happening, he's figured out that the reason why you're still alive is because you didn't have a weapon. I was like, hey. And they bring some of that whole lore into Predator too, when the girl who's shooting at the Predator, like the Predator doesn't kill her because she's pregnant. So he's like, oh, I'm going to kill you. Oh, you've got an innocent life growing in you. You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm not going to forsook you because there's a non-combatant in there somewhere. So I was thinking, oh, yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that Predator has these rules of engagement, but otherwise, if you've got like a little whanga And if he scans it and it's a real gun, and you might not have even shot it, but he'll skin you alive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, my TMO scene. There's that scene when Arnold's in the mud and he's hiding. He's got his arms wrapped around the branch, and he's looking at the predator. Obviously, he finds out the predator can't see him, but you can actually see Arnold in that vision.
Oh, yeah.
There's no infrared.
You see the blue.
Yeah, you can see the blue outline of Arnold and where he is. And I remember seeing it as a kid. So every time I see that, I always look for it every time that part comes up. So yeah, man, that's my TMO scene. Salwan Cobo Award for favorite movie quotes.
I think Sai covered this one. Ain't Got Time to Bleed is probably, that's an iconic line from Jesse Ventura's character Blaine. That's probably my favorite quote from the movie.
And they're mostly from him, eh? A lot of the quotes are from Blaine. Like you mentioned the one earlier, the sexual Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Like, you know this.
Oh, when he founds the tobacco over Dylan's boot.
Yeah.
It's a real nasty habit you got there.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them, man. And yeah, I agree with you. Even the pushing pencils in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's one that a lot of guys repeat. Nice. The Seville Reese Award for most hyped or overhyped or overacted scene by an actor.
I think Dylan's slow-mo death. Because even though he's moving slowly, like as he looks around, it kind of reminds me of that scene from Avengers where the Flash is running up behind Superman, and Superman's sort of holding Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and the Flash, being in Speed Force time, thinks, yeah, but then he's a bit kitty because you can see Superman's eyes following him. It's like, hey. So it's sort of similar. Like Dylan and his head is sort of moving really slowly like this, but the blur is moving really fast when it pans to the predator. And I was like, so this guy is moving slowly, and then when he gets killed, I was like, it's a bit dramatic and over the top because, gets stabbed and they'll kill scream and everyone can hear it. Yeah, Dylan's dead. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. That was his let the rest of the team know that he's coming after you guys.
I had two, but I don't think I'm gonna nominate one. So I nominated Mac, that scene when he's chasing after a predator and he's like sort of half panicking as well. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. There was that bit. But then I thought, you know what? That's actually his character. Like, Mac would probably do something like that. Maybe no overacting there, but that was a pretty acting out scene, that one. So I went for Poncho when, and I mentioned it before, when he comes back after the team was shooting the jungle. The way he just said, we hit nothing. Like the way he said it, like real serious, and it was just, hey, like he's in shock, they hit nothing, like never been done before. Oh my gosh, we just wasted all this ammo on nothing. But the way he said it, I thought, yeah, a little bit of overacting there.
That's similar to like Arnold's face when he's fucking looking at the girl. And, did you find Hawkins? I can't tell. And then he looks up and his eyes is he's got that look like, what do you mean you can't tell? And then he walks over. Where's his body? It's like, solid. These guys ain't getting Academy Awards, man. These guys ain't getting Academy Awards.
Nice. David Tua Award, a character you want to knock out.
It's got to be Dylan, bro. Like, Sai talked about it, about how he just hated his character. And even though at the end, it's like he tried to fashion this redemption arc for betraying the team and for like lying to Dutch, bringing them all the way into this jungle just to get fighted by this predator. Nah, man, I still think, he was a dick. I didn't care how hard he tried to, I'll go after Mac. I got this. It was like, no, you're an egg. The team's there because you lied to them. These guys would have been fine against any other human mercenaries or terrorists, but you brought them into this jungle, and now the world has lost this like #1 Delta Force rescue team, all because of your CIA bullshit. Yeah, so Dylan for me, bro. He's a character. I would have been happy to see him die early. He was an egg. This is what you're looking for. You set us up. Yeah, and then that whole scene that you talked about with the expendable. I was like, oh, it's that line.
Yeah, I hated him too. But I thought I knew you guys were gonna choose him. So I had a backup, and my backup was Hawkins and his dumb jokes. That joke he said in the helicopter in the beginning. Big as a house.
That's when
Why should
Predator
pussies big in
was
the house?
bullying Billy's laugh that whole time. I was like, silly, come on, mate. It wasn't even that funny.
Michael Meredith Award for the best food in the movie. You got
I don't think there was much meat in this
nah,
food.
nah.
Nah, we've already skipped that one.
I actually got. I know it wasn't a MA, but it was Blaine chewing on his tobacco. Like, it's not a bad habit there. But then there's the other scene when Billy uses his jungle skills and cuts the vine and he drinks out of it.
Oh yeah, drinks the vine, and then his spirit one with nature. I can hear something.
That's right.
It's funny because when you keep it the vine, and what is this funny at the pillow? But then when he lets go of the vine, and you can see the vine still dripping from it, it's like, so if I get lost in the jungle, I need to find me one of these vines, keep it just like Billy did, and you got instant water source.
What's the score? Your favorite song, music score in the movie, and the scene that it appears in?
Probably just that the theme song, that it's like a military march type thing. Like it's cool when that first scene when they're introducing the team. That's the same song that they play at the end of the movie when they're rolling the credits. So that song that introduces the team takes you back to. So the end takes you sort of back to the beginning when they first introduced Dutch and his team, and that's what I remember Predator for, like that song, and then that piece of music that introduces the team, and then the second one is all of that Predator type music because there's lots of percussion, there's lots of and then like scenes where the Predator's in, you just hear this like forest jungle background and then like really high percussion sort of sounds. That's scary. That's that horror element that they sort of bring in, scary sounding music that carries that whole horror feel when you're watching it. And I think that's what makes Predator really good because there's like all this action, but then the sci-fi element because it's an alien. You saw the spaceship from the beginning, and then the horror element, flipping people getting skinned alive, getting their guts ripped out, like scary ass music because you don't know when this thing's gonna come out of the jungle and kill you. Yeah, so but those are the two pieces of music that I really enjoyed, and that was the beginning when they introduced the team, and it plays again at the end credits, and then the music that's around Predator, like that shit's scary, man.
So Alan Silvestri, he's the guy that did the score, original score. And if you listen closely, because he did Back to the Future as well, it's sort of similar, eh?
Yeah, it's
you can
hard
tell
out
his style, eh? Yeah, you can tell his kind of style. Got the bongo drums going on there. But it's funny you mentioned the end credit scene because it's when it's sort of like a sitcom at the end of sitcoms. How each character smiles and looks at the camera and does the thumbs up and looks at the camera, poses,
it's like,
smile.
Gotta fight. These guys didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it. But all of them do it except for Arnold. This one is just
it's
part
just
of
a
the
scene
movie.
taken from the movie.
Yeah. So, I thought that was interesting ending to have all the characters do that. Then there's the song in the helicopter.
Yeah. You're talking about like the Little Richard song.
Yeah,
Is
the
it
Little Richard song, yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Netflix and chill. Should this movie be a TV series?
It sort of already is, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is. You know,
Have you seen
they've
the new
got.
one? The cartoon that's on
Yeah,
Netflix?
that's real cool.
That's mean.
That's cool. That one, I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching that.
Yeah.
I think there's already lots of content. It just needs to be quality content. Because I
Mm.
thought the Predator that came out, which was funnily written enough, it was written by Shane Black, who
Mm.
plays Hawkins in this. That was terrible, man. Like,
Mm.
you can take an iconic character and still fuck it up. Like a lot of the Aliens movies after Aliens, like Alien 3 was shit. I thought Alien 4 was crap. Yeah, so there's still a lot of potential in the franchise. Like, I reckon if it's good quality stuff, like Prey, you seen Prey, man?
Yeah, right.
That was a good take on it. Like, it was different. And then I like the spoilers. I like the end of the cartoon when the predators are rolling past, taking the Dutch or the Viking lady back to cryo sleep, and they walk past the prey girl in her cryo.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? So these predators are just collecting all these warriors to battle against. I don't know where it's going to go from there, but I thought it was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good that they're doing the franchise, sort of a reboot of it, eh? But they've given it some guy to be the boss of it all. So he's overseeing every Predator film that comes out from now on. So we'll see how that goes. So the new one, the cartoon one that's on Netflix, that's tied in directly to, like you were saying, to Prey. And the new one that comes out, I think in September or November, Predator Badlands. Yeah, this new live action one that comes out later on. Yeah, man. No, it's Netflix and chill. Yeah, it's already a lot of content coming out.
Do you reckon they should try and get Arnold to cameo in something?
Yeah.
As Dutch.
Well, we'll see about that when we get to one of the categories I got there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But the next one I got, The Immortals. So does this movie stand the test of time? If it doesn't, pick scenes that don't stand up. We've already said it stands up.
Yeah,
anything that doesn't stand up? Is there any scene particular that doesn't?
I think that that battle with the gorilla dudes, that probably doesn't stand up. Like, you know, they a lot of those guys do what my grandson does when we play shooting games. He whanga and it was like, they probably could have invested a bit more into making those look a bit more realistic, because there were a few guys that did those Rambo sort of deaths. Especially when they were coming into that warehouse and they were kafanging everyone. I was like, so there's a lot of bullets flying around and there's hardly anyone falling over. I was like, silly, come on, man. This is the main cast. When they're shooting, you're just supposed to... They're pretty much point blank from each other with these big machine guns. Maybe that scene could have been done a bit better. But otherwise, most of it is still, is still watchable, still quotable. It's still quite scary. like that score and the whole mystery behind it, who the predator is, what it is. I still think it's pretty scary. Just, I don't think you should CGI the predator. Like, it needs to be like Arnold in the original Predator movie did such a great job bringing in, who was it? Kevin, what was the dude that played him? Kevin Peter Orr, who played, who was in the Predator suit. Like, they just need another tall guy who can be believable as the Predator. Like, CGI Predator is probably not the way to go. I don't think that would be believable. But yes, it does stand the test of time for me.
Yeah, I struggled with this one. I couldn't find anything that did not stand up. Because you could sort of forgive any little thing that happens that doesn't, but it doesn't stand out. Like, it doesn't pop up at you. See, oh man, that's like old school. So yeah, I skipped that one for me. But shot, man. Next one, Six Man Award, best performance in the movie in a supporting role.
Probably Bill Duke's character, Mac.
Yes.
For me, like his whole character changed when Blaine died, and so I appreciated that. You could tell that his best friend was like he gave real emotional weight to that performance when Blaine died, and then that whole scene where he's like toasting to him, and he set up all those traps around. Like his whole arc going from this stoic, staunch, cool, tough guy, and then Okirolanga best friend, and then he just loses his shit. Sergeant, get it together, man. Yeah, and like his performance was really, really good, I thought. So, yeah, Six Man Award, Bill Duke, his character.
Yeah, I had him on my list too, Bill Duke. And I remember, because I saw him first on Commando, and I thought he was pretty cool there as a bad guy, sinister dude. But when I saw him as Arnold's friend, on Arnold's side on Predator, I thought, oh man, how cool, man. This is a bad guy that's now Arnold's friend. But yeah, he's one of those actors that plays those kind of roles, those mean, sinister kind of dudes. He was great on Menace to Society. He was the cop. But Bill Duke, man, he's a good actor. He was one I had on my list there. On the opposite side of the spectrum, Reuben Thorne Award for the weakest link acting performance in the movie. Who'd you have?
Shane Black, Hawkins.
Yep.
Like there's only it's an ensemble, but there's very, very noticeable and main characters that you can see throughout the movie that give strong performances, and then real weak ones. Like even I think Alpedia Carrillo's character, the lady, she doesn't get many lines, but you can feel her fear and her whole, oh my God, I was getting kidnapped by these guys and they just killed all of my gorilla brothers, but now it's like, shit, please don't leave me behind in the jungle. It's like before I was like, damn, these guys have captured me, to please guys, you need to get me out of this jungle alive. Gone from being kidnapped to these guys are now my only saviors. But yeah, Shane Black as Hawkins, he didn't really have much of a screen presence, I thought, and you brought up like stink jokes, like there was just stuff that was he meant to be like a comic relief type character. I don't know what his sort of the point of his character was, and I don't even think the writers knew too, because they killed him off. Maybe that was his point, was that they needed someone to die first, and to die in the way that he did, to bring the rest of the team together, and to the mystery is like, oh shit, who killed Hawkins? And while they're worrying about who killed Hawkins, let's kill off one of the big dudes now. It's like, shit, now Blaine's gone. What the hell? Who was it? I don't know. Was it the mystery? The music? Oh, shit. Who's killing these guys, man? I don't think Arnold's gonna make it. Yeah, so Shane Black for me, Reuben Thorne, weakest link.
Yeah, I had him too, man. And not only did he direct a crap movie in the future, The Predators, The Predator. But yeah, man, he was the weakest link. And every time a horror movie or slasher movie, and this is kind of a slasher horror movie too, you always get those actors that come in just to get killed in the first go. So always the weak link ones. So yeah, that's Hawkins, Shane Black. The SPW Switching Codes Award. So this is the award where we think any of these characters would be a mean rugby player or rugby league player. Did you have any? I had Hawkins, because when he was running for the first, like real fast. I thought he would be a good winger.
Yeah, winger, fullback. That's pretty much the only one I had too. I was like, these other guys are too big and bulky, man. They're like old school props, like 1980s props. Nah, I couldn't think. Maybe Poncho first five. I don't know.
Loose ends, storylines of the movie that end, but you assume what might happen next. I didn't have any for this one.
I guess when you see the credits roll, and then it's like, oh yeah, Arnold killed the alien. Now him and the girl are going off in the chopper. But then the movie just sort of stops. It's like, shit, what? what happened? What happened after? It felt like they didn't know how to end the movie. Like, yes, they've killed the alien, but then they don't bother to budgets run out. We can't finish shooting any more of a debrief scene or let's ask Dutch to explain stuff. Maybe that was too much acting for Arnold. He was like, nah, I don't want to go to like an army camp now and I'm in hospital getting into. Nah, let's just keep you. I'm covered in dry mud in the hospital, in the helicopter. Leveling up. Roll the credits. Yeah.
If anything, it would be cool to see the prequel of the team. What other missions they did before this one, eh?
Well, they did heaps.
Yeah.
Stuff in Germany, Liberia,
Afghanistan. I'm trying to forget it.
Why'd
Remember
you turn
Afghanistan?
down why'd you turn that one down? We're a rescue team, not assassins. I was like, oh.
Movie trades. Who would you swap out any actor out of this movie for another actor to make the movie better? Anyone? Oh, no.
I reckon Michael Biehn at the time. He was a good dude that I probably could have put into like Hawkins' role, but then I wouldn't know what to do putting a really good actor into that role. Like, I think Shane Black, as crap as his character was, he was probably the best person to play a die first sort of character.
First guy, yeah.
Michael Biehn would have been a Mike Moe sort of. He brings acting intensity and stuff, but then it's like, but
Could
then
be
we
a
kill him
Poncho,
off.
maybe.
Or maybe he could replace Poncho.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be those two. I thought Michael Biehn would have fit into that whole ensemble because I thought he was cool. And those were the two, growing up with my siblings, the two ensemble sort of teams. The team from Aliens and the team from Predator that were like, Sully, if you had anyone, I was like, shit, man, yeah, Predator. I have Vasquez from Aliens. She was the freaking meanest. Her and the blonde dude. Yeah. Those were the two movies where I thought, oh man, ensemble, bad, kick-ass team. And you sort of didn't really see that again until Expendables come out, where they get all of the
oldies.
all the old action guys come together and shine in the sun. So I was like, oh yeah. But for me,
Fast and Furious
Michael Biehn.
sort of do it too, eh? But it's like, they put singers and R&B singers and a rapper in there.
Does
Nah, doesn't do it, eh?
nah, bro, not believable.
I had The Rock on my mind, but who would he go in for? And would it make the movie better? Maybe not. So I didn't have much.
Oh, was that question like any actor from any time to slot into it?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of people from that time. I was like, he's a good actor.
The Rookie of the Year actor who was unknown at the time of the movie but became famous later on.
It's probably Shane Black again, actually.
Yeah.
My one. Wasn't known for acting, but he wrote Lethal Weapon and he directed Iron Man 3 later on in his career. So, yes, The Predator was shit, but Lethal Weapon, man. Stuff. Yeah.
The Ma'anono Award. So this is an actor who shows up every movie. A that guy actor. You don't know his name, but you've seen him. He shows up.
Well, I had Sonny Landham for my one, like Bully. He was that guy for me. Like 48 Hours, you mentioned him, and he's also in Action Jackson the following year with Carl Weathers, and he's in Lockup. He plays the baddie guy in prison with Stallone. So I was like, oh, he's in quite a few old Sonny Landham. I was going to put Jesse Ventura, but I only sort of really know Jesse Ventura off those two Arnold movies. And then all the others, I was thinking, he was pretty shit. Those other ones. But Sonny Landham for me, Billy, the guy who's playing Billy, he was a recurring that guy in a lot of 80s action and crime thrillers.
Also ran for governor too, but lost. So this movie got Arnold, that was governor of California. You got Jesse Ventura, was governor of wherever he was.
Minnesota, I think he was.
Somewhere, yeah. And then Sonny Landham, who ran for governor, but he didn't get it.
Oh, didn't he? I didn't know that.
coincidence there. I had that Sven Thorson guy,
Oh yeah.
that Russian actor who gets killed when Arnold smashes through the door and says knock knock and blows him away.
Yeah, he
So that guy, he
features in a
shows up
lot
in a whole bunch of Arnold movies, man.
Yeah. I first saw him in Conan. He plays one of those two Thulsa Doom barbarian dudes. He's the short one. The tall one with the mustache, and he's the short one, clean shaven dude.
Nice. The Leonardo DiCaprio pointing moment. You know that meme with Leonardo pointing his finger and something?
Yeah. I think for me, the Predator's heat vision, I thought that was pretty similar to the Terminator vision. If I'm looking at Arnold movies, like that was the Terminator vision was a good sort of reference point for doing Predator vision, but I thought Predator's vision was way better because it looked futuristic. Like the Terminator vision, it looked very dated for its time, and in later Terminator movies, you see that again, and it's like got the 1980s graphics and the numbers. I was like, so it still looks very 1980s, whereas the Predator vision, that's just like heat vision sort of colors, and it looks futuristic, and you could probably still use it to this, in movies to this day. I liked how in Predator 2 they tried to, uses heat vision. That's why we've got these heat suits on. And then it's like, you see Predator go, deet, deet, and he's got like 10 other visions.
Yeah.
And his mask is, deet, bzz, bzz, bzz. It's like, I can see the lights from your guns. I was like, I just thought you could outsmart the Predator. And I didn't even know whether they explained that very well, that they know he hunts by heat. And I was like, how do you even know that? Like, not even Arnold knew that. He just knew that he covered himself in mud. For all Arnold knew, he can't see through mud. He doesn't know it had anything to do with body heat. But
even the targeting as well. Targeting comes in the vision. The Predator, that's pretty cool. The triangle. Man, I had this moment, this Leonardo DiCaprio pointing moment, right at the beginning when the team jumps out of the helicopter. You notice what they're all wearing? So Blaine, he jumps out first. And this is what I slowed down. Jumps out, he's got an MTV t-shirt. I think it's Pancho who jumps out, he's got a Hawaiian shirt on. But Mac, he's wearing a grey suit. And I'm like, is that Cook from Commando? He looks like Cook, man. I was thinking, is that like a homage to his character in Commando? But he comes out in a grey suit.
I have to relook at that.
So I was thinking, is he like car salesman or something? Yeah, that was my Leonardo DiCaprio pointing moment. Stephen Crichton intercept. So a prop or clothing item you want to take home?
Predator's mask.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
I'll take that. That's iconic, man. That's probably the coolest tech. That and probably his little laser perched on his shoulder.
Nice. I had an item too from his armor. So I had his arm panel.
Oh yeah.
I'll take that. Sweet, man. Almost there. So Sky Tower. Is this the Sky Tower of any of these actors? Is this the best movie of their career? Anyone? Any of these actors? I reckon this is Sky Tower for Jesse Ventura's acting career.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Arnold's one.
Nah, I don't think it's Arnold's one.
Terminator 2 is probably his Sky Tower. But yeah, I think probably a lot of those unknown characters, this is their peak. They peaked when they were in a movie with Arnold. Everyone else is... Yeah.
You could argue Bill Duke. Do you rate Bill Duke here or Commando or something else he's been in?
Probably. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Like I think he's got more lines maybe in Commando. But they're all just sort of real one-dimensional. It's like he doesn't really get a chance to really portray any sort of real acting, give it depth, and he gets a chance to do that in Predator. So yeah, probably Bill Duke.
Yeah. Well, Jesse, is this the lines and just his iconic look? You know, with the cowboy hat and the big gun he's got, and just his dialogue, eh? Just
I think so.
his wrestling dialogue he's got. Straight out of wrestling.
Yeah, and you can probably remember every single Jesse Ventura line. Like before we came on, I was talking about that whole scene where Arnold's picking up the truck, and then he lets it go to roll down, and it's got grenades in the back, and then it pans to Jesse Ventura. What the fuck? What was the purpose of that line other than for Jesse Ventura to say what the fuck? They could have just gone straight into the rest of the attack, but he has that one line and then goes back to him when Pancho points out that he's bleeding. So yeah.
Sky Tower of anything? Do you have anything?
Sky Tower of jungle-based science fiction horror.
That's the only one around.
Any other movie that tries to do jungle set action / horror flick is going to be behind Predator. So that's what's at the top of. And that's the cool thing about Predator. You think it's an action movie because Arnold's in it. Next minute, you don't really know what the thing is until the beginning scene is a spaceship. Space. It's like, it's an alien. Okay. Yeah. So jungle-based sci-fi horror.
Jungle-based sci-fi horror.
It's probably the Sky Tower of minigun machine guns getting shot. Like, yeah.
Yeah, more than Terminator 2? Is this the Sky Tower of that gun?
Oh, it probably was until Terminator 2. Because at least Terminator 2 was shooting at actual stuff. Like you're shooting at the cars. There was lots more explosions. There wasn't really anything happening except trees getting chopped down. And then a cool, wow, you can hear the kawili of the Umapulu. Mac, Sergeant. It's like, okay. Something that gun is crazy.
I got two more. Is this the Sky Tower of aliens fixing themselves?
Oh, like when he got shot?
Yeah, when he was fixing himself.
That was an interesting scene, eh? Like, it kind of humanized Predator a bit more because then you realized he was actually vulnerable and he wasn't this, like, unbeatable thing. Like, that line of, when the big man was killed, you must have hit it. I saw the blood, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And it's like, yeah.
That line came on the cartoon, wasn't it? That line came back on the cartoon.
Did it? I missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Oh, was it in another language? I missed it.
Oh, mother came on Prey because the girls, her brother said it when they were tied up on the tree.
Yeah.
Behind the tree. Yeah, the brother says it. Sky Tower of glow in the dark blood.
So that was ahead of its time, man. Glow in the dark blood. Like
Fluorescent blood.
Yeah, fluorescent. Like I'd seen green blood before on like Spock and Star Trek, but this was like glowing blood that made it look cool. So I was like, suddenly they made this alien have cool blood. And, there's only two aliens, Predator and aliens. There's acid blood and cool glow in the dark green blood. Like, the two alien species has got the coolest blood in movies for me.
Well, this might raise some eyebrows. Is this the Sky Tower of hunting movies?
Sky Tower of hunting.
I think there's one out there. More than this one. I'm not sure. It feels like there is.
You mean like they're getting stalked?
Yeah, it's one to ponder, I think.
Perhaps. You could probably say that for every horror film. Like, everyone gets sort of stalked by the scary murderer guy, and then finally gets Fasioki. So yeah, I don't know. It probably is because Predator ends up getting everyone except Arnold.
He's the final girl in the end. Yeah, man, it's coming to an end. The last one, overtime. When the movie ends, what might happen the next day?
Dutch gets debriefed, and then he probably leaves because he's Ika at his team getting eliminated, and then he goes and lives in the forests, lifting logs in the wood. I don't know. Like Predator 2 did a real terrible job of trying to set up that team that came in, and like I thought, oh man, it was cool when the whole Danny Glover and the cops and the Rastafarians and that, and I was thinking, oh yeah, Predators come down because only in the hottest seasons does it come. It must be real favela. It's come back, and then they introduced that team that was like, so that we're the professionals. We know how to hunt these. And I was like, what is this? This is just, it's giving me Highlander vibes. What? They've gone and taken what would have been a cool sort of premise to continue the franchise, and then it's like, oh yeah, we've got these government guys who have all this technology and cool suits that hide their bodysuit. I was like, oh, here we go. And they go for fighting so easily by the Predator. I like Predator 2 because it showed like different weaponry from the Predator, like that steel net thing that he catches you with, and then it just
squeezes you, it cuts
like,
you.
Still that steel net is pretty cool. Next minute, your cubes on the floor. Yeah, I don't know.
I had see what happens the next day. So I know, right? She's gonna have her revenge now. So she sneaks into where Dutch is in hospital, kills him, and before she kills him, she's gonna say, "That's for my brothers you killed at the camp."
There ain't no way. Nah, bro.
Because where did she come from? She wasn't a prisoner. She comes behind with the gun to hit him, so she must be part of the guerrillas. Hey.
I think so.
She wasn't a prisoner or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, she was part. That was part of. Yeah, they were part. But that's what I don't get. Like, I don't get why Dylan kept her alive for. And then it's like she was the only female in the whole camp. There's only one good wing of this girl was doing in this camp. So I don't know why you kept her alive. I don't think she would know. She's got information. What information? They don't elaborate. What information did she have? They ain't telling her jack, bro. It's like, the only information she knows is, it's not worth the intel that CIA is after.
See, you know what? I think we just uncovered one of the categories here. The scenes that don't stand up. Storyline loopholes there. There's a plot loophole.
It was, I thought so. Like, it didn't make sense. They were killing everyone in that base. And then all of a sudden, Dylan was like, I'm being her. Well, you keep up
you're
with
on your own.
us.
What do you say? You're on your own.
Yeah.
She falls behind. You're on your own.
You're on your own.
Yo, that's it, man. That's us, man. Going down those categories, man.
Ah, cool.
Thanks a lot. That's Predator.
Pity Side dropped out. It would have been cool to hear the rest of us. To hear the rest of Max eat us.
Yeah. We had this thing when Isaiah was here. Like, after the pod, like, if we did the action movie, we ranked the villains. So I think the villains we've got at the moment. So Predator, like, would that be in the top 10 villains of all time?
Top 10 villains.
Because we've got because I forgot what movies did we have? We had Bloodsport with Chong Ni, and we had The Warriors with the guy of the what's his name?
Clink.
Yeah, Clink, that guy.
Sully.
Yeah, Sully. We had Bennett in there. We had Bennett. Who else do we have? Bull Hurley. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon
We're
Predator's
gonna have
up
to do
there.
that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do the rankings again. But yeah, man, that's us for Predator and
Sweet, bro.
the Late Returns Film Review podcast. What would you like to do next?
What's on the
Final
list?
time. Man, there's a whole bunch, man. 87. Go down to 87.
Yeah, that's probably a good
down,
idea.
man.
87 is probably shit. You could pick anything. What
Yeah.
about Robocop?
Oh, yeah. I think that's one of Roger's favorite movies too.
Was it?
Get him on.
Huh. I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah. All right, Robocop's next. Sweet. Thanks, Us, for jumping on. We'll,
Sweet, bro.
Yeah, man, we'll get the Robocop one on the way next week.
No, thanks for having me on.
No worries, man. And yeah, man, we'll see you back on 135 Footy Show
See you, brother.
after you guys finish celebrating.
Anytime.
Hello,
Queensland.
Have a good week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.